right. All right, we are back. Welcome back to the ONJ YouTube channel podcast. I'm your co-host Jeremiah.
I'm your co-host Orlando.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hope everyone's having a good day, a good night. And tonight we have a hooper. Well, I don't know if he's still active. We'll get into that if he's still active or not. But we have a hooper who's done it at multiple levels, the JUCO level, D3 level. We have 2018, 2019 MCAC Northern All Division Team selection at his JUCO that he'll talk about later. Greg Barber, appreciate you for tuning in.
Appreciate y'all having me, man. Hey,
For
I didn't
sure,
know
for
you
sure.
knew about that. You did a little
Hey,
research.
hey, hey, hey,
I ain't
hey,
do
brother.
nothing crazy, but hey, I got a little accolades, right?
Hey man, we gotta make sure, we give our, what I mean, our guests they just do, you know what I mean? But yeah, appreciate you for coming on, man.
Yep.
Yes, I
Uh,
mean, I mean, first off, I know we have some audience. Maybe some know you, maybe some don't. So I want to give you a floor, kind of introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us where you're from, some of your basketball experience, or actually what got you into basketball, things like that, to get the people that are listening to know you a little bit better.
So I'm originally from Miami, Florida. So I went to Dr. Crop High School with Jeremiah. Remember
yeah,
seeing him messing around on the court and stuff, messing with him a few times. Uh, what got me into basketball, just I don't know, man. Just being around it, watching the game so much, loving it as a kid. I didn't really get a chance to get going until late middle school, going into high school, but the journey and the grind really pushed me to get where I was. So it was a good little fight for that. So that was good to like succeed, the process of that.
okay. Like yeah, so I noticed you like you. I mean, when I first met you, you always like kind of seemed like tall. Was there a certain point you feel like you hit a certain growth spurt, like in middle school or high school, to where like you kind of? Because I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What do you think you finished your senior year at height wise? Maybe 6'4", 6'5",
Yeah, probably like 6'4".
6'4"? Like, so was there a certain growth spurt you had, maybe eighth grade, ninth grade, to where like you kind of grew a little bit to where you figure you could hoop?
I mean, I knew I could always hoop, but when I hit that growth spurt in middle school, it was kind of like just random. Knew it was
Okay.
coming because I got height in my family, so we just was like, okay, he gonna play basketball. This seems like your sport. We just
Yeah.
gonna see how seriously you want to take it. So
Yeah.
when they seen the growth spurt hitting and they seen me actually like processing it and taking advantage of like the skills and what I was doing, they was like, oh yeah, you gonna be all right. You ain't
For
nothing
sure.
spectacular, but we know you could play.
For sure. For sure. For sure.
So,
For sure.
so when you hit that growth spurt, we're looking at some of your like high school highlights. We kind of noticed you were playing a lot of like that small ball five type of center role.
Yeah.
And I know most people. I feel like once you're in high school, once you're like hit that height of like 6'2" and up, they automatically put you at center. When you hit that growth spurt, did you know that was kind of like where they're going to locate you, and did you start getting ready for those type of roles?
No, I actually wasn't trying to play that role, but that was what fit the system at the time. And I feel like that just carried over into like each level, going from high school to JUCO, even a little bit in middle school, but high school to JUCO and then to D3. It was always like a where do we want to put you at? Like
Mm,
you could stretch the floor, but there's something that we can't really put our like eye on with what you want to do on the court. So we just gonna throw you here and we gonna see what you can give us. And if that's what's gonna work, then we gonna just throw in other dudes that can just help build off of. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But I knew like eventually I'm gonna just get on the court. I just gotta figure out what's gonna work for me.
for sure. For sure. So in high school, like, I know you played varsity, but did you play any JV at all, freshman and sophomore, or were you always
I
on
didn't play
varsity?
freshman year actually.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I got how I got get into the system at Crop was Coach Ray Thompson for the girls
Yeah.
basketball team. He
Hmm.
he saw me having like little rec games at the high school, and he told the coach about me. So that was kind of nice little input of him. Shout out to him. He's everybody know him at Crop. If you
For
don't
sure.
know him, then you better get to know him. That's a good dude right there. But shout out to him. He put a word in for me because the coaches at the time were switching it up. It was a new coach coming in, going into my sophomore year. So I knew most of the dudes on the team my freshman year who played all 4 years.
Hmm.
Um, they told me you should have tried out. We wish you would have played. You would have played. And I was
Ah,
like, yeah, it's all
yeah.
good. But when I got into that summertime and met the new coach and some of the dudes that were already on the team, they already knew about me. They were like, we saw you could play a little bit outside because that's mostly where I spent my day, just outside playing. I ain't really get into the system yet. But
Okay.
summertime, they was like, yeah, you're gonna be all right. You gonna fit it. And it ended up working out because when I got to that first year, sophomore, we didn't lose a game. Like
Wow.
we didn't lose a game. We didn't lose a game until the end of the season. Like we beat everybody. That season was ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
we was causing havoc in that Dade County that year. That
Who
was
was on
fun.
that? Who was on that squad that year? That sophomore year. I'm trying to think of like who may
Uh,
have been.
we had TJ O'Connor.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So he
Uh-huh.
went to Western Nebraska. He went to Rainy River for a little bit also. He
Right.
came after me. And he went and played a couple other schools. But yeah, TJ O'Connor, Devin Lee, he went and played college ball.
Hmm.
You might know his little brother, Braxton.
Yep. Hmm.
Um, Martin, he was big six,
Oh yeah, Martin. He's like what,
6'8".
6'8"? Yeah,
He was
he was tall.
tall sophomore year, but by the time we got seniors, man, he hit like another 2 more inches, and we was like,
Yeah.
he nice, man. He had like that nice little lefty pull up. It was different. We had a little
Yeah.
point guard, two cousins. They were point guards, Dewan Bogle and Chevelle. They
Yeah.
shifty little guards, man. I wish they would have
Yeah.
stayed. They ended up leaving and going
Yeah.
to over there to
Chevy.
Miramar and Carroll
Yeah.
City. They was
Uh-huh.
nice guards. Joey Block, he was a nice
Yeah.
football player. He was quick, played defense, knocked down the threes. Yeah, we had a lot of guys in that input. Some of those guys, I can't remember everybody, but
Yeah.
that was the ones I remember right off bat. But it was a lot of more guys that was just they made that year. Charlie, forgot about
Yeah.
him. It was a lot of dudes. Just it was a fun season, man. We used to kill.
Yeah.
We used to just have a good time killing everybody, man. Then sophomore year was the big transition because one thing about that varsity team, we always had a different assistant coach from what I remember.
Okay.
So it was tough trying to get the coaches to buy in with the guys and the guys to buy in it. But that junior year was tough too. A lot
Yeah.
of competition, so it was
Yeah.
pretty hectic, man.
Wow. Nah, that's dope. I mean, yeah, because I remember it. I remember y'all had some good years. Yeah. So that year you were just talking about the sophomore year, did y'all make it far like in terms of like districts or anything like that? Or like any
I
like
don't know if they
regional?
did that for the JV level,
Oh,
but we
oh, okay.
did.
Oh, this is JV. Oh, wait, this was the JV squad you were talking
Yeah,
about. Oh,
yeah.
wow. Oh, that's
The
tough.
the JV squad, we got the invitational to the Junior Orange Bowl. We won that.
Oh,
Yeah,
tough.
that was a good time. I think I still got that picture for that. That was good. We
Yeah.
did that in like the Christmas break, but we didn't really get nothing after that. It was just like a regular season.
Yeah.
We finished it out strong. That
Yeah.
next year, varsity was junior year. That was a good year. We had Carl Genty. He was 4 year starter. Felipe,
Man, so
Abraham. Those were 4 year varsity dudes. They just led the way leadership wise.
yeah.
We had a couple transfers. They came in and did their thing. Jimmy, just from American, came out of the gate just quick guard, just
Yep.
fast. You couldn't get in front of that guy. We had a lot of guys just play their role. And that senior year was tough because
Yeah.
we didn't get the same height as that junior year. That junior year we should have won the district and we didn't win
Yeah.
it. It was on our home court and I was pissed about that. I still miss that day. Like
Yeah.
got beat by Miami High, but
Okay.
we end up losing the district championship game and go to that's when it crossed over. You go play somebody on the Broward side. Went to
Mhm.
Flanagan and gave them a hard fight, but we ended up losing that game.
Okay.
And then that was it. But that junior year was crazy. It could have went
Yeah.
further than what it did. But yeah, as far as
Carl
the
was a
senior,
Carl was a bulldozer. Like he was
oh yeah,
like,
you couldn't mess with him, man. He lived right across the street from my auntie. So
oh,
I
okay.
used to I basically grew up with Carl. We knew each
Yeah.
other since we was jits, man. He was a
Yeah.
big guard. You already knew what it was with him. Like
Yeah.
you got to let him hoop. If you don't let him hoop, man, y'all holding him back. Like,
Nah,
but
for
nah,
sure.
he definitely led the pack. He had an input on the transfers because he played AAU. He was a high AAU guy. A lot
Yeah.
of people knew him around Dade. Like they knew his skill. They knew him. They respected his game. But yeah,
No.
you couldn't get in front of that dude. He tried to get me in the gym a lot to learn shit with him. My bad.
Yeah. No, I know
to
you
learn
good. You good.
to learn it with him, but
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like it was a whole nother level with him, man.
Yeah.
That was a guy. He was our guy on that year.
Nah, for sure. Nah, he's tough. That's tough. Those some great hoopers. You
Oh
just
yeah.
named for sure. Um, I guess we good to go into senior year, Orlando.
Yep.
All right, so senior year, we seen your very like I think what I think our last time we checked was like 400 views or something like that, or like
It
something
was
like
all yeah. It got a
your
little bit of views. I didn't think it was gonna be
your
all of
senior
that.
year your senior year highlight tape. Would love to just get into your senior. First of all, are those stats accurate? 80%. You shot 80% from the field your senior year. Is that accurate?
Yeah, man. I'll be honest. I was pretty solid, man.
Wow. So
I
eight.
made a
So
lot of good plays for the team. I didn't really do too much bad things. I had some bad plays. Everybody do, we ain't
yeah.
perfect, but I did a lot of good stuff that kept my like percentage pretty solid.
So what was there something done that summer, or what, or like even with the junior year, or even with the junior year squad that you do had, there was some great hoopers on that junior year squad. Was there something that prepared you for that year to average like almost 20 points a game in your final year of school? Like, was there something you did to prepare for that?
Yeah, it was just that it's your last chance of high school ball, how you want to finish it, and that was pretty solid. I didn't get no all day. I didn't get none of that, and that's
Really?
cool. I didn't really respectfully. I didn't know like so much about it to where I'm like I should probably be doing more to get that like because that would have been real cool to have on my belt. But I knew like I had some game, and I knew when we played teams, they knew like you got to like find a way to stop this guy, or we gonna have a problem all night.
For sure.
But yeah,
No, that's
senior year was cool, man. It was real cool. I enjoyed that year. It was as far as like preparing for it, it was just knowing, all right, this is the guys you got. This you know how to play with them. You played with half the team 2 years ago, and we knew like we could be something special again. But yeah, it was a fun time. We had a transfer. He came in from North Miami. He was a good shooter. He got hurt for a little bit, but
okay.
he came in and made a nice little leadership role too for us. And like I said, T.J. Connor, he was on that group again. Devin, Joey, Martin, them. We had a freshman, Deshaun Joseph. You remember him? He
Yeah.
was he was a nice little freshman. That 6'5", I believe. Man, kid was.
Shoot that ball though. He could shoot.
Oh yeah, and he didn't do nothing but get better. Like
Yeah.
once he put that weight on, it was a different him. Like he
Yeah.
was a little baby then, and he got the picture, and he was right there holding his own with us. But yeah, senior
That's
year
what's
was
up.
cool.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
What was
So, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I just want to. So when you go into that senior year,
Yeah.
just want to get where your mindset was at in terms of like feel senior year is one of those important years where not only do you have to focus on the team making that team success, but also focusing on yourself in terms of you got to be ready to make sure people are looking at you for recruitment and things like that, so you could go to that next level. So
Yeah.
how was like your mindset going through that process and how to navigate all through that?
It was just you never know who watching,
Mm,
and there weren't everybody ain't perfect, but you got to figure out a way to still produce. And if I didn't do good on offense, I found a way to produce on defense. So they would look at it and be like, okay, he might be good on offense, but I see you got a little game on some defense too. So we can work with that. Like you ain't gonna give us everything you got on the east side of the court. At least you can make up for it. And I just knew that if somebody was watching, like, okay, now he going for 20 tonight. Wow. And then the next game is like, okay, he ain't got 20, but he gave us a nice little 10-10 and a lot of steals. Like just to never know who watching kept me consistent and knowing like, okay, I can do it if I just catch the right eye. Like just show them like, okay, we'll be all right. You know what I mean?
sure,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
So AAU ball.
Yep.
So yeah, like what? So how many years of AAU ball did you play? What team? And just in yeah, like things like that. So yeah,
So I didn't play too much AAU. I
dang, you
tried.
just
Huh?
you just I ain't gonna lie. You didn't most guys that I see make it to college play all 4 years. You didn't play all 4 years of
Nah.
varsity. You just keep
And
not keep talking, keep
I think
talking.
that could have affected me though. If I would have played ninth grade, it probably could have got me a little started a little more. Like I didn't really get the best exposure to the AAU yet. And like
Okay.
I said, growing up with Carl right across the street, he
Yeah.
he he was able to give me that eye for like the AAU. He'll like, yo, you need to come play with us. You're good. Like come
Uh-huh.
and this was like middle school time because we didn't go to the same middle school. He went to Highland Oaks, so most of the
Okay.
guys I met from Crop was Highland Oaks guys or like the
Right.
Aventura way. I was like one
Yeah.
of the only ones from like Andover, which was more for most of the kids going towards like Norland. Um,
Hmm.
but me getting drifted over that way, it was a nice little like good input for him to just tell me you got to get in some AAU, man. Like that's where it's at. And that was a good time because that was the social media rise too. Like it was
Right.
becoming like peak social media, like 13, 14, 15, 16. Those were the years where AAU was like on like its pedestal. Like that was like peak AAU. Like everybody wanted to be on Ball is Life. You know, I'm like overtime. That's all we used to watch. And but yeah, just AAU. I didn't do much of that for until like sophomore year. I tried. We played. It was a little team. It was like Miami United. So I
Okay.
met a lot of good hoopers there. Matthew he played at Matter. He played over not overseas. He played a couple college ball
Okay.
places. I don't remember exactly where he went, but he usually does like the little one-on-one stuff online. He was a dog. You couldn't mess with him. Killer. But I played with him. TJ was on that team. We played AAU. We met a lot of guys. DeAndre Pickney went to Carroll City, went to Southern Miss, played at Broward College. He overseas now. It was a lot of guys up in that group that you was just like, wow, it's some talent over here. And it was a good little thing with that AAU team, but I don't think it didn't last long. Like as far as the organization, I think it was only like a 3 or 4 year span. I think the
Right.
year before that they had some guys from the Broward area. They had Kobe Johnson. He played college ball. He's working with like the WNBA players with training and stuff like that. He's
Nice.
American. He went to American high school. He was good. They had a nice little group for that team. But yeah, it was Miami United. It was a nice little organization. It was cool. But yeah, I only played sophomore year. Junior year, I should have played. I didn't really know where to go exactly. There was teams out there I heard about, but I just didn't really take the consideration of doing AAU because I worked
Yeah.
hard and I knew like that's where what you need exposure. You need the exposure
Yeah.
at this time, and I should have took more advantage of it, and I ain't take that
Yeah.
advantage. But it's all right. I still, you know,
Exactly.
had my own little journey.
Yeah. For sure. Sure. So those like that junior year, was it just mainly just working out? You would say just staying in shape for summer league and things like that.
Yeah, it was just all that, just staying in shape,
Okay.
working out, get in the gym. Like I said, Carl, we used to get it. That was his senior year. So going into that junior year, that was his senior year. He used to be like, you trying to go get some shots up. And that was a good time because I was learning from somebody that like I said, 4 year starter, like
Hmm.
AAU, he did it all, man. He was a killer. He put the work
Yeah.
in. So learning from him helped me grow into that senior year, even without the AAU.
Wow. Wow, that's great. So it sounded like he had a pretty big impact because I know he went to what? He went to Daytona State, and I don't remember what college he went to, but I know he did some work even
Yeah,
in
he
college levels. So I'm sure that was a good relationship to have.
yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time being able to have like somebody like that who could
Mhm.
actually vouch for you a little bit too, like because he knew me from the outside of basketball, and I
Okay.
knew him from the neighborhood, but everybody at the school knew him because he was that guy. So him putting a good word in for me was like, okay, we got to give this guy a chance. If our like one of our best guys is, vouching for you.
Yeah, everybody know who Double Zero is. Everybody knew who that was.
Yeah, that he made that name. That was funny. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. Before we get into like recruitment and everything, I wanted to like just touch on just you mentioned some of the great hoopers like DeAndre Pinkney and Kobe Johnson, some of the
Yeah.
guys you teamed up with. Were there some guys that maybe you competed against, in high school? I'm not sure
Ooh.
if like Dewan, I don't know if were you able to like match up with like a Dewan Huell who's like the McDonald's All-American from New Orleans? Like were
Oh
there
yeah,
any
yeah,
guys?
yeah. I went to
Yeah, like
middle
we're
school with him. He went
word,
to
okay.
Andover. Yeah, yeah. He was killing, man. He was 6'5", seventh grade. You was like, yeah, you better be on the basketball team. Yeah, he was a dog, man. When we
Yeah.
played Norland my junior year, and he
Okay.
was on that. That was, I think, either they won state that year or the year before. So the Norland had their rings, but as
Yeah.
far as him, yeah, we got the matchup with him my junior year before he graduated from Norland. That was a good time guarding him for a little bit because I was like, I seen you in middle school. I knew what you could do, but now you're in high school and you got the whole shebang now, man.
Yeah.
You to do that guy. You got the rings, all of that. Like it was a little challenge guarding him, but like that's what it is when a top prospect is right there across the court from you. You know what I mean? You gotta
Right.
come with your game because they already coming with theirs too.
Yeah. No, so like in middle school, you kind of saw it. Like you kind of saw what he was gonna become, essentially. Like you
Yeah, and
you
I
kind of
didn't
knew
get a
it. Yeah.
chance to play on the team with him
Yeah.
in middle school, but I remember seeing him in school, saying
Yeah.
what's up to him. When I got a chance to try out seventh grade when he was in eighth grade, I didn't make the team. It
Right.
was mostly eighth graders. It is what it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, watching the tryouts and you seeing him dunk already, you like, man, he going somewhere. that
For
was
sure.
that was cool. That was cool to watch. Like,
For
but yeah.
sure. For sure. All right. Let's get into your recruitment. Thanks for breaking down, everything up until, your senior year. What was recruiting? Was there a certain point where you felt like you started to hear from college coaches? I mean, shooting 8% from the field, averaging 18 points a game. I mean, I'm sure you're gonna get some type of attention from some schools. So, at what point do you feel like you started to hear from some schools and where either junior college or just college in general started to seem more and more like an option for you?
I'd probably say just when we got that one we had a one coach come in. He came in for practice once.
Okay.
For Western Nebraska. TJ ended up going there. The coach
Hmm.
came in there and that showed me like, okay, like, and they give you your input on like your game and you want to make the changes and tweak it a little bit so you can, be what you can be. But just hearing him say that just showed me like, okay, I got a chance. Like
Okay.
they got an eye for you. They looking at you, so that means you got a chance. So that was a nice little just something to show me. You know what I mean? Like I didn't need to go to that school, but it was showing me like, okay, we got a college coach here. Like what you got to do to show him like you can come play over there and get a jersey on they team.
For sure.
But just to add on to that, I would say probably in the recruitment process was knowing there's no limits, man. If you gotta, you gotta do what you gotta do to go play ball. You gotta talk to any recruitment you gonna get, man, and just if they're interested in you, you gotta at least show a little interest back. I ain't saying be disrespectful, but they took the time out to contact you and want to know if you want to come play for us. That shows a lot right there. You know what I mean? Like that means they see something in you. So
Sure.
that was really like a good little wake me up too. And it was never really all basketball. Some of it was just college, like just for school, and that's just basic stuff you get as a high schooler. Oh, come to our school, come do this and that. But with the basketball side of it, it was just seeing those like coaches walk up to you every once in a while, or you go to a game and they ask you, oh hey, what are your plans? I don't know. You should come here. All
Okay.
right. Let's look into it. That just gave me like another boost of like, okay, coaches are interested in your game, man. They're interested in you as a person. They like what you
Yeah.
bring to the table. So, run with that. See how many you can get off of it.
Nice. All
Right.
right. Cool.
So then what made you? I guess what called out to you from Rainy River that made you decide that that was the school you wanted to go to?
One big thing was the coach. He was real cool. Uh, Bill was really like a good coach, man. He knew what he was talking about, and he worked out with us. So when he invited me to little open gym runs at Broward College, he showed up. He was doing his recruitment, but he already had me in his like eyes of like, okay, I'm gonna have you, but I need to see you a little more with some guys that's already either trying to play college or went to college or different level guys, different age groups, and seeing me in the runs was like, all right, I like what you got. But another thing that just came off of it was most of that team was from Miami, so I played at least 80% of those guys in high school are seniors.
Mm,
So it was just boom. We had over half the team from Miami. It was just like it was cool to do. That was what made
yeah.
it more funner. It was like he went to Florida and got an all majority Miami team, and we had a couple dudes from up north, but most of our team was down south. And that showed like, okay, this guy's like dedicated to building something, and he's trying to do a different wave. And Isaiah will tell you, TJ would tell you, the guy was smart with what he was talking about. It was a good recruitment process with him. He was honest. He let me know straight up, you can play on this team. I need you to work to show me you want to be one of those guys for us. And I didn't do nothing spectacular that year, but I earned some minutes and I got to show him like the next year. That's what gave me that accomplishment right there, which you was talking about in the beginning of that conference. So that was a big thing of Bill and his recruitment with me.
Okay. Just to kind of create a little timeline, and we'll get back to your freshman year at Rainey. But at what point did that relationship start to where you were kind of like, at what point did the initial, like maybe the open gym, like did this all happen your senior year or your senior summer? Like at what point did all this start to kind of come into place?
Uh, this was this was senior year because I remember going to a senior showcase with
Okay.
um two other seniors, TJ and Troy. The one he was from North Miami. We drove out there to a showcase far out in Broward. Nice little cool little spot. I forgot what the high school was, but when he introduced himself to me, he showed me. He was like, "I like your game. I like your style. You seem like a good kid. Like I want you for my team. Like let's go."
Oh
And
wow.
I was a little hesitant at the time because I'm 18 and I don't really got that confidence yet. I didn't have it. That was me, my personality. I didn't have that. Like I showed it a little bit, but it's like, do I really want to go to Minnesota? And it was cold up there, man. But it was a cool little like conversation talking to Bill, showing me that I'm committed to you. I'm gonna make sure you are all right. And him meeting my mom, that showed him he was a little more trustworthy as a
Mhm.
coach. Like
Okay.
you committed to like making a promise to your parent because I'm
For sure.
watching you for the however many years you come up here and play for me.
Yeah. No, that's real. That's real.
So
Okay.
once you got to Rainy River, do you feel like you were prepared not only from like a basketball standpoint with like the training, the physicality to it, but also mentally, going from Miami to Minnesota? I think that's a big culture change. Do you feel like you were well prepared when you got there?
So yeah, overall, I do feel like I was prepared mentally for the basketball. Physically, I was not prepared for that cold yet. Them wind chills was different. It was
Oh
it
man.
was it was it was a lot of layers. And in Miami, we could just put on some shorts, slides, and go hoop. No, you got to layer up because you will be cold, man. It was some days where you be like, I do not want to even leave this room. I don't even want to go to class, but I gotta go because I know I gotta get the grades to play, and I need to go to practice because I want to play. Like, but that definitely was a big jump right there for sure with the mental state of how am I gonna stick it out through the cold, man? I didn't even have a winter coat the first year. That was bad.
No.
Yeah, it was bad. I had boots, but I ain't wear the boots. I ain't like them. I was comfortable with like slides and sneakers. I still had the Miami
Yeah.
inside, which it was dumb. Because your feet was cold, man. I had some cold toes some days, and I got the picture after that first year. I need to layer up. You'll be all
Oh,
right.
for
So
sure,
yeah,
for sure.
that was a big thing right there.
What was the coldest day in Minnesota? Like that you grew like was
Like
it close to
negative,
zero? Like
negative,
negative.
maybe 30, 40.
Negative.
Yeah,
Wow.
Dang.
yeah. It was some cold days, and they cancel school sometimes.
I would hope so. I would hope
Sometimes
so.
classes got canceled, but man,
Oh
you get
man.
that if you didn't get that email, I used to
You-
take that chance and be like, I better go just to show face. And you see the note there. They didn't send the email, but they put a note. You'd be like, all right, I'm just going. We got the picture. Okay, they canceled class. They just didn't send nothing out. But yeah, that negative 30, 40 was pretty tough. A lot of guys on that team from Miami. We used to be looking like some abominable snowmans out there, just layered up. And that walk was it was a nice little walk of just open air too. No blockage,
Wow.
nothing. It was like a quick little
Jeez.
3 minute walk, but that's enough to, feel
Jeez. 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 God
Wow.
bless y'all. God bless y'all.
it.
No, for sure. But so getting to college though, I mean, of course, the academic piece.
Yep.
Did you have a major in mind that you wanted to something like a career goal, like a dream job or something headed into college, like something you knew you wanted to study for 4 years?
So I tried to start off with the physical therapy route at
Okay.
Rainy River, and then I liked it. I learned a lot about that because I knew like how to learn how to take care of my own body in a sense,
Okay.
which is good as an athlete. You want to actually know some of the things that's going on with you prior to going to doctors because sometimes you can help the situation a little bit. But yeah, I wanted to do physical therapy, and when I transferred over to Lakeland, I learned the physical therapy program over there for like maybe a semester, and I swapped out, and I couldn't do that, man.
That's real. That's real. That's real.
I thought I had it.
Yeah, that's real.
I ain't have it, and I really wanted to stick it out, but I that physical therapy program at Lakeland was pretty tough. A lot of people would start at it. A lot of athletes, just not just me, but a lot of non-athletes too. They would start in and then they would drop it. They were like, "I'm changing my major," and I was like, "I agree," because I did it too.
For
I know
sure.
what it was about that. So,
Oh, that's real.
yeah, that took me over to going into the sports management route because I knew either way I wanted to be around the sports. I working at Crop, we used to do the physical therapy with the trainer. That was
Right.
pretty cool. That which what made me want to do physical therapy in college.
Yeah.
But I didn't really take it that next level of pushing to it. So I switched over to sports management and tried to
Okay.
learn a little business about it. And then I
Ah,
added an emphasis of coaching, which was pretty good because I feel like with my personality and the background I got in the game, it ain't nothing spectacular, but just a little knowledge is better than no knowledge. You know what I mean?
for sure.
And that helped. So I switched it over to add emphasis in coaching, and that's where I ended up finishing it out.
Okay. For sure. So while we're still at Lakeland for a little bit, for 2 years, that freshman year, just what was your introduction to just JUCO basketball in terms just from a competition standpoint? Uh, like you said earlier, you were ready for the basketball piece, but I mean, college is not, it's student athlete, so you also
Yep.
gotta, be a student. But just from the basketball piece, just what was your just first time? I know you had some solid averages your freshman year. You definitely picked it up your sophomore year when I mentioned the division team selection, but just for your freshman year, just what was just your from what you remember, like what was your just your view of your freshman year from in terms of college, from a physicality standpoint to just your overall skill, like just talk about that.
Man, anybody that played JUCO gonna tell you it's a dog fight out there. And
Talk about it.
I learned that right away. We came from Miami with like 10 plus guys. That instantly was like it's gonna be a dog fight. Then you meet the guys that were already on the team the previous year. They looking at us like we know y'all good, but we already got a little experience, so y'all gotta have to bring it if y'all want to play. And
Uh,
I learned that quick. I held my own. I did my own little wave of it. Like I didn't try to like do a little too much, which I could have tried to do more of, but I knew where I fit in with this team. And that's where the coach was like, okay, I know what I'm gonna get out of you. And that's what got me on the court. Because
okay.
we had a lot of star power. Like our best player scored 1,000 points. And
Wow.
if I show you his highlights, he was ridiculous. He could East Bay in game. Like he was East Bay in game on a regular. It was ridiculous. Like
Yes.
bouncy 6'5", just
Wow.
wing killer. You
Yeah.
lefty. It was nice, man. Off the backboard, catch it, dunk it, fast break.
Yeah.
You was like, man, I'm really playing with this dude. And that was the dog fight right there, guarding that guy in practice, working out with him too, because he took me in his wing. He was another dude outside of the coach as a player. He told my mom, like, we gonna look out for him, and he did. He showed me what it was. He was a good dude for me. He showed me how to just carry the image of being that guy in college, but also like don't show off. You don't got to if you don't got to. You let the game speak. And like I said, 1,000 points, East Band in game. He was like easily a 20 points per game. Like you couldn't
Wow.
mess with that dude. That's what showed me like JUCO was what it was. Like
Yeah.
it was a fun time then.
Yeah. No, that's real. And I mean, just touch on it a little bit. You hear, I mean, like you said, it is a dogfight. Is it also, would you say it's competitive just from a team perspective? Because everybody's trying to, get to that. Everybody's trying to get out, right? Like
Yeah,
everybody wants that D3 scholarship, that D2 scholarship. Like
yeah.
everybody wants to get to the next level. Did you kind of sense any of that? Like
Oh
is
yeah.
that, or could you say that's true essentially?
Yeah, it's true, man. It's not just in JUCO. I think it's in basketball and sports in general. Like when it come
Okay.
to competing, you wanna be the best, and you don't wanna just be another guy on the roster. You wanna stand out a little bit. And yeah, we had a lot of arguments and a lot of stuff, disagreements, but that team, it wouldn't have been what it was without that type of stuff. Like you needed that intensity. You needed guys that didn't play to show a guy that played. I'm just as good as you. If the coach play me, I'm gonna compete against you whether the coach play me or not. That type of stuff is what made the best players push more to be better, and what made the guys that wanted to be the best players push to get that spot. You know what I mean? Like that was a lot of fights, a lot of scraps, a lot of trash talking that come with the game. That's just how it's gonna go. But as far as that year, yeah, that was a big thing of what pushed us. You know what I mean? Like that's just how I got what it was.
For sure. For sure. No, that's great. That's great. So from your sophomore year, you had a great sophomore year. Well, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, 10-7. Uh, that's
That
pretty
sound about
good.
right.
So 10-7.
Ain't spectacular.
It wasn't 80% from the field, but it's close enough, almost close to 60% from the field, which is pretty good still in itself.
Yeah.
And pretty good from the free throw line as well. Like almost 80% from the free throw line. Was was it just you were more comfortable compared to your freshman year? Like I mean, it's probably a similar question I had from your junior year to your senior year in high school, but was it more urgency? What do you think allowed you to take your game to another level?
I'll probably say that, yeah, just being more comfortable and also being put in another situation 2 years prior to that, which is you're now one of our main guys.
Mm,
How you gonna push for us? Like what you gonna do for us to, you know, get us going? Like we know what you can do, but can you do it times two to
sure.
get that next group of guys to follow in line of like what we doing? Like
Yeah.
that's what got me. Our point guard, we had 2 point guards, and both of them were easily what they were on the court. Like you knew what you're getting. One was 5'8". He was from Miami. He was killer. Knock down threes, get by you, blow by like a little JJ Barea type guy. And then
Oh, okay.
And our other guard was from Louisiana, Trey. He was shifty, ambidextrous, so he switched his hand and shot up midway through our freshman year. And then sophomore year, he came back and started shooting a whole different way. And he just had that swag with Louisiana in it when he was on the court. And them two plus me being like like you said earlier, the post type of guy that we didn't really know what to do with you. Us three kind of led the way, and coach just filled in the blanks from there with what else he wanted to add in, which ended up working out pretty well.
Sure.
Was there a moment when you were going through that season where you really felt like you could take it up to that next level, to go to that D3 college, and did you know that Lakeland University was kind of like the one for you?
And even just
Yeah.
recruitment also like what schools were speaking to you, you know what I mean, through that season.
I would probably say Lakeland was one of the main ones, just because they was right next door from Minnesota to Wisconsin, and there was a couple other schools that I do not remember off the top of my head, but a lot of them were the up north way, and I'm like, if that's what the wave is going to be for me in this journey, then I'm gonna just ride with that. But as far as the recruitment process with Lakeland, it was I met a dude over at Rainy River from Milwaukee, and he was talking to me about Lakeland, so I kind of already had a little idea of it my freshman year, and in that year jumping into the sophomore year, I kind of already got an ear for Lakeland. But as far as if I wanted to commit there, I didn't know yet. I just had an idea of it. But when I got the message from the coach, it kind of just hit me again. I was like, okay, I do remember a little bit about this school because a Wisconsin native told me about it, and he was saying like, this is a nice little school over here. It's a good team. It's a nice program. You can go see what you can do over there. And he didn't go, but I ended up getting that offer from the coach, and that was pretty a nice little thing to just take that experience and just see where I could go with it. But I definitely wanted to push to be the best as possible. Like D3 was what I got. That's what I got. I'll take it. But I didn't want to settle for it if I can get anything better. But I'm fine with the opportunity, and I took it, and did what I did.
Sure. Sure. Was that your only was that your only offer essentially? Like pretty much it. Or were there other schools involved?
That was probably one of the two or three, yeah, because I didn't do nothing crazy to where like I also didn't put put myself out there enough, like try to get that exposure going, which could have played me in the long run. Like I knew going home every summer and playing basketball with guys that went to D1, D2, D3, JUCO, all of those, that was pretty good exposure. But I
Yeah.
got to promote myself, and that was well, I relied on my skill more than just trying to add on to the mix. Like you got to put yourself out there, and I probably should have
Yeah.
did more of that, but that's
Nah,
all right.
man.
I don't
Hey, man.
regret it.
Hey, three offers is three offers, man. Shoot, hey,
Yeah. Some people don't get none, man, so I'm grateful for
hey, I'm some people. All right,
them.
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Nah,
What
for
do you?
sure. But
So I was gonna say, like, once you went over there to Lakeland, what do you think was the biggest difference playing at the JUCO level compared to that Division 3 level?
I would say one thing was most of the guys there were it's 4 years instead of two, so I'm not gonna necessarily say you're less hungry because you always want to be hungry, but you knew like
mm,
once you get to 4 year schools, most 4 year schools keep their guys. Like unless those guys leave, most guys stay and commit to the program. So I knew like coming in, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna still have that hungry mentality, but I gotta fill it out and see where it's gonna get me in this roster because I know I can get on the court right away for a lot of teams if I really, show the coach I can play, which I did that first year, and that jump was another thing was the environment. It wasn't as cold. It was still cold. Don't get me wrong. The Midwest ain't no joke, man. It's cold, but the jump from International Falls over to Sheboygan, Wisconsin, that was a nice little jump because for one, the city was bigger, so International Falls was not as big as Sheboygan, but when I got over here, the school was a little bigger. The campus was more populated with students because you had more students from the outside world commuting compared to over at Rainy River. So that was another jump getting used to the environment. But Jeremiah tell you we went to crop together.
Yeah,
That's a big high school. That's a little high school with a lot of students. So the
it is.
population thing didn't really affect me, and the city thing was kind of nice to see a bigger crowd. Like that's what kind of like didn't really hinder me or mess me up. It kind of like just got me going a little more. Like okay, bigger population means a little more shoes to fill because you got more eyes looking at you, kind of thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sheboygan, what's in Wisconsin? Sheboygan? Is that what it is? Sh
Sheboygan.
Sheboygan.
So it's
Like, huh?
about hour away from Milwaukee.
Okay,
Mm.
So
okay,
yeah, not too far. And then it's an hour away from Green Bay, so it's right in the middle.
okay. Was there like any in Wisconsin? You were there for a few years.
Yeah,
Like, was there any new hobbies you picked up, or anything new that you may not find in Miami or in Minnesota that maybe you
man.
found was
There's
interesting?
yeah. I picked up the trying to learn how to ice fish for a little minute, and then I
Oh,
gave that up, and then I went to regular fishing.
okay.
Yeah, I said I'm just regular fish.
Ice.
Then I
Can
picked
you?
up, huh?
Oh no. Oh no. Go ahead.
I was saying then you got golfing because the Whistling Straits right over there up the street. So
Uh-huh.
Whistling Straits is where they had the golf the PGA tours, and Steph
Oh,
Curry was up here. Charles Barkley always around here.
wow.
Michael Jordan was at that one. But yeah, that's golfing was a thing I was trying to pick up, but I gave that up too, man. I suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gave it a try, but I ain't really
For sure.
it wasn't my vibe.
Ice
Um
fishing, is that like I mean, is it
man,
just what it sounds like? Like
yeah.
what is that? What is that? What comes with that?
Sitting out there in the cold on frozen water
Wow.
and
Mhm.
putting the reel down and trying to get some fish.
That's
It was
crazy.
but it's a patient thing. I tried it for a little bit. I wasn't really a fan of that
Yeah.
either. Um yeah, this it ain't really too much hobbies I picked up on. I still play ball. That
Sure.
was a good thing. Like I tried to keep doing outside of playing ball at school was working out and playing ball because and in college you start losing focus pretty
Yeah.
quick. So if you keep your head straight with just going to do certain things, you'll be all right. So
For sure.
that was a big deal in my hobbies wise.
Not for sure. So that would be so your first year of college, that would be your junior year, correct? Is
Yeah,
that correct?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
As I transferred, that
So
was my junior year.
So like what was that year like for you? I know the playing time may have been up and down, but just in terms of just your first time like D3 experience, just what was some stuff that like what were some things that you knew you needed to work on to kind of later on towards in your Lakeland career that you were able to like get some minutes, but what was some stuff that you had to work on to get those minutes later on?
Just the same thing I did high school in JUCO, which was prove to the other guys like, all right, I'm good too. You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
Like that was a big deal. Um, Another thing was showing the coaches that I'm willing to work. When you ask questions, you get answers back. And when I would go to the coaches a lot, asking them this and that, and like, where can I fill out on the court and what can get me some minutes, you got to do that because if you are a guy that's questioning it, that means something the coach is seeing you is not fully there yet that they want. And once they see it, they're like, okay, I'm gonna ride with you now. You're gonna get the minutes you got because you earned them. That was a
Right.
big jump as far as when I got over there. Back to uh back to the other part was those guys that were already 2-3 years in,
Hmm.
showing those guys like that I'm bought in. Like I might be new, but I'm bought into the system. Like I'm trying to play. Like I'm not
Sure.
coming over here to you know steal minutes. But if I work hard and earn the minutes, then I got them. You know what I mean? Like that's and most of
Yeah,
the dudes really they knew that they was like, okay, yeah, you earned yours.
for
You
sure.
didn't get nothing like handed to you type of thing.
Oh, that's real. No, that's great. That's great. But okay, so yeah, those first 2 years. So that Is there anything you want to ask about the first 2 years, Orlando, before we get to his senior, like, well, senior year?
No, I think I'm senior.
Oh, okay. So like your senior year, I was looking through the box scores. Like you definitely carved out a role, and it seemed like coach was able to trust you, with minutes. Um, just how's your game recollection? Like if we give you like certain games that stand out to us, is there are you able to like kind of recollect maybe what you were feeling that night, or what made you play so good?
We could try, man. It's been a couple years, but
I know.
I got good memories sometimes with these games.
All right. So, well, actually, this may before we get to the senior year. So I think this was your junior year. So, like your first year at the school. Concordia, Wisconsin. You were like 7 of 8, 15 points, 4 rebounds. I mean, the 7 of 8 just stood out, just the efficiency. But just what was there something you were feeling that game? Is there something you ate before that game? Like what? Like what?
Man, I honestly don't know what I did as far as preparing for that game, but I
Yeah.
knew that was like that school's only like less than an hour away from us. So I guess it was a
Okay.
bigger rivalry thing with Lakeland. That
Okay.
one and Marion. Those are the two schools that are like the closest. They're like 40 minutes away from us. So there was a lot of like rivalry with those schools. So when we played them, like I said, I'm new, so I'm just trying to show the guys like I'm bought in. But when I did that, it was also it was an opportunity because I think something happened with a couple of guys. I don't know if it was like injuries or grades or something, but
Hmm.
something happened and coach took a chance with a guy. He was like, "You got some college experience. You get the system. We can just throw you in there and let's see what we gonna get." And that's kind of what he got. He got a efficient game from me.
It is. It is. But so that senior year, you definitely played a lot.
Yeah.
And there were I see some games that you did start, but more so, I think what stood out to me was you had 59 threes attempted. I don't do you recall like in Rainy and Crop, like were you allowed were you, I guess allowed is the word. Like were they coach like allow you to like were you given that freedom to take those same threes that you're able to take here at Lakeland? Like was like a 3-point shot something you always had in you?
Yeah, I could shoot the ball, man. I just ain't never really shoot it as much because
Right.
I knew my game was different than like in high school. If you look at it, I had that midi game. That was face up
Yeah.
and just knock down a midi or face up rip through. That was what I got. That was how I
Right.
got to the free throw line because I get fouls or that's just how
Yeah.
I got my bread and butter. That was my points right there. When I got to Rainy River, it was a kind of like a mesh because I was trying, like I said, I worked with Carl, and that was when I was trying to learn how to become a little bit of a guard because 6'3", 6'4" is like NBA guards. Like, so always hearing that, I was like, I'm a guard. Like, but
Mm.
I gotta play a big for the team. So
Okay.
that's why my position was always what it was from high
Okay.
school going into my Lakeland games. It was just
Yeah.
you're gonna be more of a in the middle. You'll have the freedom to take shots, but you also like you gotta play down low too, man. You're gonna have to guard
Mm.
some 6'8", two somethings, and you
Right.
gonna have to just figure it out because that's what you gonna have to do for this team. And
Yeah.
I grew with that, and yeah, the freedom of that came when I got to Rainy of just taking more outside shots. And by the time I got to Lakeland, it was like you could just shoot the rock, man. So you just
Mm.
find your role with us, and you know I took pretty efficient shots. Some of them were bad. Not every shot gonna be good, but
Right. Right.
I took
Right.
some shots that they were questionable. But like you said, I took more threes down the line as I got
Yeah.
older, just because I got more comfortable with the game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So.
How did how did you prepare when you're looking at your schedule and then you see that you're gonna have to match up with a much bigger guy than you, got bigger, taller. What in what mindset? How did you get ready for kind of those guys and guarding them and making sure they weren't as good as they normally are?
I just took it as I know your position. I know like how you want to play, but I'm gonna try to make you play like how I play. You know what I mean? Like I was a bigger guy. I was bigger in the sense of what we had on our roster. But as far as matching up with other teams, I had to be the biggest guy for our team to guard him. So me guarding that guy, it was like all right, let me try to play defense this way. Maybe I can finesse this way on offense. I know you don't like to come out here to the 3-point line and guard it, but if I shoot it a couple times, your coach going to take you out the game because he sees you're too slow. So they might have to switch up their defense. That was like a thing I got. I took it as not a disadvantage, but more of like an advantage. Like, I know you can kill me in the paint if you want, but you got to come guard me too. And I'm not going to just play in the paint. I'm going to play outside the paint. So if you're not coming out here, I possibly will make these shots. And if you do, I might get by you. That was just how I looked at it. And I knew how to facilitate too because I could pass the rock. So if somebody helped, I could read.
Yeah. No, that's real.
Yeah.
No, but for me though, like what would you say? Oh, I had the question. I got it. I gotta catch it. Hold on, let me catch it. Let me catch it. If you got one, go. But I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out.
Um,
I froze up.
come on, Jeremiah. Come on. How you gonna flip up?
He's like, oh, like it's a lot of good information. I'm just trying to. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I got it. I got it.
There you go.
I got you. Uh, so, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but when I look through your game logs, it looks like you didn't miss no games or any, or if any, or barely any games.
Yeah.
If you could correct me if I'm wrong. But what do you say, especially like your last year, you played a lot, so you were clearly available. Like, what would you say? What was the key to that? Like, is there some type of preparation that's done before games? Like, they always say the best ability is availability. So, like, like what contributed to that? Is there something you did in the weight room, stretching? Like, just talk about like what it takes to be available, for your program.
Uh, I'll probably say, yeah, I was always working out, man. I took a lot of that into consideration of working out. I knew like the last question, I knew I got to guard a big guy, so we got to figure this out. We got to get stronger. Like
Yeah.
you want to play, you got to be strong enough to at least handle the competition on defense and offense, whatever gonna happen. Like, it's a physical game. It's not just non-contact. It get bumpy out there. So I
Yeah.
knew working out was a big deal. Rainy River prepared me for that because, like I said, the coach, he used to work out with us. That was a challenge like he made up on us, where if he could beat us in planks, whoever could
Mm.
keep that plank the longest never was me. A couple other guys, they made it, but he would go for like 5 minutes, and guys could do that. That was a big thing. So pushing
Wow.
myself on my off days, like when the coaches, like they say, you never know like what people see until like you do it in private. And that comes to light. That was a big deal. So doing stuff in private kind of prepared me for that. Like nobody never knows what you're doing on your off time. So I was always, you know, working out. I took that serious. I always lifted. I got shots up. I took a lot of workouts in. That was good. And that kind of like, made me more of a available guy on the court because I didn't, never really got hurt.
Right.
Like I never really got hurt. That was pretty easy. I stretched, didn't stretch as much as you need to, but I stretched.
Right.
I took it serious.
Yeah.
But yeah, my body, I took pretty good care of it for the last 7-8 years of playing. Those were so I knew like it worked out in the end.
And this is from an outside perspective, but all the stuff you just named is great. Do you really have time to do? Because you also, like you said, I think you were in sports management by this time, so you also got to deal with schoolwork as well. Do
Yeah.
you have time? Like, do you have time to incorporate like the lifts that like? Are you able to lift as much during the season? Like what you just said, even with schoolwork and all that, like that, like to kind of, is it like what is that something that was tough for, like time
Yeah, it
management?
was huh?
Oh yeah, I was saying like time management, like yeah, things
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
top. I probably say yeah, it was a little tough, but once I kind of one thing that helped was I learned my school schedule first,
Okay.
and then once that was good, I was like, okay, I can mesh well and try to figure out when I want to work out. And there, every school gonna have teammates that's like, I'll come work out with you, but you also gonna have some teammates that's like, I ain't lifting. Like if I don't have to, and I get it, you know what I mean? Like I respect that, but that's what I like to do. That was what it kind of brought a little peace and therapy to me because I'm like, I could be chilling on the game, but I don't have a system, so I'm gonna go work out. I don't got no
Mm,
homework, so like I'm gonna go work out. I already
mm.
ate, but like I ain't really trying to sit down, so I'm gonna just go work out. And I had a little on campus job by the gym, so it kind of helped too, like working out before my little shift or working out after. So that was kind of something that I kind of figured out. So that was a big thing with it, which was figuring the schedule out first. Then I could throw in my little workouts.
Oh, for sure. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Uh, okay. Senior year is done.
Okay.
Uh, you had
I've
any?
been
Oh, go ahead. Go for
no,
it. You got it. You got it.
so now that we told that we're kind of wrapping up senior year, I've been kind of holding on to this question for a minute now, because I heard you say that you were kind of did like a concentration in coaching.
Yeah.
Um, so once after you've done your playing experience, was coaching the direction that you knew you wanted to take, and did you eventually get there?
So originally I was looking at trying to get overseas.
Mhm.
That was probably one thing I wanted to do because for one, when you're fresh out of college and you want to play ball still, you're like, I can get a job. You can always get a job, but like, eventually you ain't gonna be able to play ball no more. So let's try to
Yeah.
like get that going. And it still has been a journey trying to figure it out because I don't really, that's another thing that comes with the social media and me being the way my personality is. I don't
Mhm.
put myself out there enough. And Jeremiah will tell you, seeing me a lot, I used to have the headphones in. I was pretty just chill. Like,
Yeah.
so that was kind of tough too because if I'd have put myself out there more in the AAU market, in the senior year market, in the, you know, JUCO going into college and then college going into overseas, maybe I would have, got another route going there. But yeah, no, as far as the college coaching, the coaching standpoint came in when I was like, all right, we just kind of, got to find a different way to, have this type of joy with the game still. That's where I kind of like found that route. And the personality I got, I was able to just, find that role and try to figure out, do I want to do college or high school or what's going to be the first start? Because you got to start somewhere. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Some people start right out of the bat as a college assistant. That's where I was trying to go. I was looking at that route first too, while trying to figure out the overseas thing. That was two back to forth questions I had, like overseas or let's get the masters and start our coaching career going. It's a tough little mesh, and I ended up just going with the coaching route, and I tried to give that a little shot, but that school, man, eventually you get tired of it.
Yeah.
Like you put so much time and effort into school and basketball, school and basketball, school and
Yeah.
basketball for so many years. And it sucks because I really wish I could have kept it going, but
Yeah.
eventually you fall off that route for a little bit and you gotta pick up a different one. So I took the coaching job at a high school, and that kind of helped a little bit too. So that's how I got that route going in with the coaching part.
Okay.
Okay. And
Ah, for
are
sure.
you still doing that currently? Still doing the coaching at the high school?
Yeah, so I coach high school basketball at Sheboygan North out here.
All
So
right.
I coach girls basketball too. So that came into a point of this is gonna be a challenge, but I'm okay with it. Like I'm
Yeah.
all right with the challenge. I face plenty of challenges. Let's go, you know, make a difference in somebody's life.
Okay. Coaching girls, is there a certain like just from a trying like do you have to hold back in terms of like yelling? I mean, you don't seem like the type to yell, but like, I'm sure as a coach you do have to get loud. Like,
Yeah.
are you able to still kind of get loud to maybe and not I don't want to like create like a gender thing, but like maybe like with girls you may want to be a little bit more delicate than you would with a guy. Like is that something that comes up, from your experience so far?
Yeah, I'll probably say a little bit. I do agree. Yeah, you got to be a little bit more lenient because certain
Uh-huh.
things you don't want to offend a teenage girl just in general.
Right.
Just that's just how it is. So I had to grow with that approach to how I get it. But I kept it more basketball and let the kids learn me first, learn me like, okay, this coach is like, he not trying to like do this and that and learn, okay, how all of this is going in life. It's basketball. I'm a basketball coach. Like
Yeah.
I want to see you do well in school. Now come do well on the court too. Like,
Facts.
you know what I mean? Like,
Facts.
but yeah, there was some times where I was like questioning like, what's my approach to this? And every kid's different. You know what I mean? Like when you would coach boys, you're like, okay, I got to learn this boy and learn that boy. And then, all right, I got my approach. Same with girls.
Yeah.
I figured out, okay, I could talk to this kid like this. I could talk to this kid like this. But it's a different approach for each kid. And if they really want to buy in, they're going to buy into what you're saying. So I don't really have to raise my voice. If they like it how bought I am, they'll buy
For
in with
sure.
me.
For sure. Nah, that's real.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
How's the season? You know, how do we do this? How do we do this past 2026? Like, what were we looking
Um,
like?
the growth was good. My first season was bad. We only had two seniors,
Okay.
and then our second year we had five seniors. One quit on us.
Uh-huh.
And then the next this year was good. We had another five seniors, and two of them were killers. They're actually going to Lakeland.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, they're killers over there. They're gonna have their way, but they got a lot of recognition in the conference. They were selection for the little all-star thing. That was pretty good because they played with a bunch of other girls in the conference that were a lot of competition for them. So it was good to see like the process is actually, working.
Nice. For sure.
Yeah.
For
When
sure.
when you got into coaching, did you kind of have like maybe a mentor to kind of guide you in the direction of coaching and teaching you the ins and outs, or did you kind of use more of your experience when you were a player and kind of thinking back of what coaches taught you and showed you throughout games?
I say I probably took in it all, like a little bit of both sides of that. Whereas if I'm looking at it of how I want to be as a coach, all right, I'm gonna look at the coaches I had and say I can take this from that, but I won't use that. I can take this, but I won't use that. Kind of like that, kind of, snatch and just take bits and make my own style. And then another perspective of it was, how do I want to approach them with the style that I'm bringing? I'm like, okay, well, I'm fresh out of college and I'm young, so I can give that idea of, all right, do you want to play college ball? All
Mm.
right, I can be that like type of coach for you. Like, you want to work, we can work. If you want to just ask questions about this and that, then I can help that. If you don't want my help, that's okay. Like, I'm not gonna be, misguided about that, because at the end of the day, like, you want to play, you just want to play. But if you want to take it serious, you can ask me some stuff, and that's how I use it as far as going to my approach to the kids. Because some of them, you're not going to have every kid go play ball everywhere or just anywhere. Some just did it for the fun. Some liked their journey. Some of them were like, I'm done. Some actually want to keep going. So I looked at that and just took bits from my own little coaches and then just made my own little thing with how I approach those kids that want to just do it for the moment or want to do it for a longer term.
For sure. For sure.
Nice.
All right,
Nice.
man. This is you have a great journey. I appreciate you for coming on and sharing it. We're gonna just do like maybe four rapid fire questions, just
Okay.
to get to know you a little better. So the first one, just uh from your experience, just your favorite hoop shoe. What's your favorite hoop shoe that you're most comfortable with?
I probably say I used to be a big fan of the LeBrons, and then I got into the KDs. So I say
Okay.
probably the LeBrons or KDs.
Okay.
Okay, okay. For the second question, when you were playing, who do you feel was the either the best or the toughest player you had to play against?
At what level?
Oh, good question.
Mm.
Hey, if you want to
I
go,
was gonna
if you want to
if
go
you
all
want to take
three,
one at
I
every
mean,
level.
it's
You saying
up to,
player or player or school, like, or just in the competition in general?
Oh,
man,
oh,
he
going
asking
deeper
some
than
good.
I was thinking.
He asking us the
Uh,
questions, right? Hold on. Uh, Okay, we could go. We
I
could
ain't
go.
trying to. I was trying to keep it rapid fire, but I want to know like where your question was trying to go with that one.
Oh, I mean, we didn't have a specific level, but I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to go high school JUCO D3, I mean, go for it. Go if you don't mind. I mean, just for,
Um, High school wise, I say like Miami High was always tough competition. They that was a conference game that we always knew was going to be a dogfight playing those guys. I knew when we had to go against Miami Beach, it was always tough out there. They had pretty solid. So I'll say those guys that way.
okay.
Uh, JUCO would probably be. Mm,
And were there any players from those schools that stood out? Because we also
oh
want to like see,
man,
yeah,
Miami
like
High and Miami Beach had Zach Brown, 7 foot.
oh, played against Zach Brown.
Oh man, it was tough with him. It was 7 foot
Oh,
Division I killer. Like
yeah.
he was D1 bound, man. It was hard to deal with that guy.
Oh
That was,
gosh.
and then when he got to Miami High, they had him and one of my teammates at Rainy River. Two of those guys were there on that team with him at Miami
Wow.
High. But they had
Yeah.
Marlon Sierra, I think that was his last name. He went to go
Okay.
to like Bowling Green and stuff.
Okay.
He played D1. He plays overseas. They had Malcolm Nicholas, 6'6" guard. He passed away a couple years
Yeah.
ago. But yeah, he
Yeah.
Miami High was tough. They were some tough comp that way.
Yeah.
Um, that was tough. Zach Brown, yeah, the 7 footer dude. You couldn't do nothing but just hope he missed,
Yeah.
because he dunking on you, man. He don't care. He dunking. Ain't no ifs ands or buts.
He was
But
so agile to be 7 feet too. Like a 7 feet lefty. Like he was so like he was a legit 7 feet. He was like super agile, like for
oh
his
yeah, and
size.
once he put the muscle on, it was tough to guard
Yeah.
him, man. He was killing. He was killing us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was that team that beat us at Miami High, but him and Malcolm didn't play.
Yeah.
We still couldn't beat him. I was like, man, it's tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, off of that, with the JUCO at Rainy River, I would probably say, uh, going down to that lower part of Minnesota, which was, I can't even remember off bat what was do you got the thing pulled up on your thing?
I mean,
Like,
I could. What you need? What you need? What you need?
no, for the list of all stars on that thing.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, I do. So is there a certain school that person went to?
Just say the schools,
Oh,
like
okay,
some of the
I
schools
got
on
you.
there.
All right, so yeah, Central Lakes, Masabi Range. Uh, oh, that's your school. Central Lakes, Vermilion. Uh,
Hmm.
dang, what is that? Sound all right, vowels. Fond du Lac,
Oh,
Fond du Lac
Fond du Lac,
Tribal.
yeah.
Yeah, hey, that's a
And
name.
okay, so yeah, no, I got you. That was one of the teams right there. Central
Okay,
Lakes.
okay,
They had some dogs. They had a dude named Chris Buckley, guard.
yep.
I think he
Mm-hmm.
came from a different school. I don't think he was there for 2 years, but he came in and was just killing. You couldn't.
Yeah.
You just had to hope he missed shots,
Dang,
because
that's the worst.
if he was on, because he was getting to the basket, but if he
Yeah,
was hitting his shots, he was having his way all night. So you
yeah,
just had to hope he missed. Him and the that was a tough group over there. That was hard for JUCO. Guard
yeah.
playing them guys, that team. At Lakeland, Concordia, Wisconsin was tough. And then when
Hmm.
you go down to the Illinois schools, man, you go that way. You had to deal with this like Illinois Tech. They had a guy who was a Division I prospect, could have been really killing over there, but he ended up going to IT and was killing there. Uh, he was like a 6'10", legit. You just had to add like an Anthony Davis type. You
Oh,
and you just gotta hope he just have off night too. And like I said, man, I was like one of our biggest guys. So me at 6'4", guarding 6'10". It's only so much you could do out there on the court, man. Like, you could
man,
play all you want, but if you getting killed, we in trouble.
man, what's your reaction in film? Great, you got the 6'10" guy. Like what you supposed to say?
I just be
All right,
looking,
coach,
man.
I
I
got
just be
you.
looking like, all right, I guess that's what it is tonight. What can you do? You want to play, so you just got to accept that role, man. He gonna hoop, But listen, if you got me on him, I mean, you got some type of trust in my defense.
Oh man.
Yeah, that and then Concordia, Wisconsin, they just had a legit team. They knew how to develop guys over there. They did pretty solid. They had that first year when I got that 15 against them, they had a guy who was the freshman player of the year 2 years prior to that. He
Yeah.
was a killer, all conference every year. They always had a solid group. So guarding that team too was just tough because
For
they had
sure.
a they point guard was 6'2", 6'3", and everybody after that was like 6'3", 6'5", 6'6", and the big was 6'9". You just and that yeah that team was tough, man. They won the whole thing a couple times while I was in college, and you just was like they're good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's it.
Yeah,
All right, number three. Wait, three on me? It's three me?
yeah.
Okay. Rapid fire. Go to move. Just what was you most comfortable with? Like what was something people
Just catch
could not
up,
stop?
face up. I just had a fake up.
Okay.
Look at them, do a jab or two. I didn't really dribble the ball much. I just made quick decisions.
Okay. For sure.
Okay.
All right,
For
cool.
fourth, I got the. Do you got either a pre or a post game ritual that you used to do before games?
Uh, nah, not really.
Okay.
I just the day just goes through. I know I got a game. I ain't really try to make it bigger than what it is because that's when you start, tripping a little bit. If you start
Yeah.
worrying about it, just you good, man. Just go ahead and just get the day through, and we gonna go hoop.
That's a good
Valid, that's
perspective.
good.
Well, all right, we appreciate you for coming on. Just one more thing. Just you've had a lot of experience. You've played a lot of basketball, and you're coaching it as well, so that's great. Just up and coming hooper, whether it's a high schooler that's trying to get to college, or a high school or a JUCO player that's trying to get to Division One. Just some advice that they may need that maybe you weren't given. Maybe you had to learn the hard way. Like, what's some advice maybe you could give to a hooper or just anybody that's trying to get to that next level, even if it's not basketball. Like just whatever wisdom you have on that.
Just just get that drive going. Find that drive in you. That's gonna really push you to that next level. Everybody got it. You just got to figure it out. What's gonna push you, and that's probably the biggest thing right there. That's gonna take you into each level. Like what's gonna get you there? What's gonna make me go harder, or what's gonna make me play better than the next guy, right? So that's how I look at it.
So, so, ladies and
Like,
gentlemen, Greg Barber. You know, uh, for sure, for sure. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Greg, can't thank you enough. Appreciate you for just taking your time out. Just come chat with us. Appreciate your journey. You've had a great journey, and still got more ways to go. But we just thanks for taking the time. You got anything, oh?
nope, nope. I think this was a great interview. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all giving me the chance to come over and talk a little bit with y'all.
For sure, for sure.
For sure.
We appreciate you, man. Everybody, this has been Greg Barber, uh, current coach, former Hooper, and just appreciate you for coming on. Like, comment, subscribe, and just comment your thoughts on his journey, and appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
You too, bro.
You too, man.